Everyone, and welcome back to another video. So today I got a brand new pet, which is an Eyelash Crested Gecko that I named Ranger, and he's so adorable and he's so tiny. I love him so much. He's 2 months old, although we don't know what gender it is because they have to be a little bit older to know, but I'm just going to kind of call it he from now on until we know, because it's kind of hard to tell. You have to wait quite a long time, really. With the old gecko we had, we didn't even know because it didn't really live as long because it had something wrong with it. But hopefully we'll be able to figure out this little guy's gender. I got him today in the morning when I went to a reptile show. Basically, at a reptile show, what they do is they have tons of different reptiles you can buy, like snakes, turtles, salamanders, geckos, just tons of stuff. Now, he's an eyelash crested gecko, which is a little bit different, from a normal gecko. Their size is a little bit different, and they have different patterns, and they actually have what appears to be eyelashes, so that's how they got their name, because it looks like on their eye that they have some eyelashes, and it's kind of funny sometimes. My cousin also got one as well, and if you're kind of on Discord a lot, her name's Roo The Meowl. She got one as well that she named Potter. Potter is a lot bigger than Ranger is. He's like a lot bigger. I got Ranger because I really liked his markings. He's like pretty dark sometimes, like most of the day. He's like pretty darkly colored. And Roo The Meowl's one, Potter, is a little bit more light and he's like a lot bigger. And they sell some pretty big eyelash crested geckos there, but a lot of those are really expensive. Like, I saw one eyelash crested gecko there that was like $500. But luckily we got him for only $60, just a pretty good deal for an eyelash crested gecko. I will be putting him in his new home for the first time. Now, the vendor that we bought him from said that you can, when they're young, you put them in a small cage, so in case they fall, they don't really hurt themselves. And he's only 2 months old, and he's very tiny. And I actually saw some tinier ones than that there, but those ones would probably be a lot to take care of because they'd probably be really jumpy. But you give them a small cage at first, and when they're a little bit bigger, then you can get them a big cage. And we actually have a pretty decently sized cage back upstairs, and that one we will put him in like a few months or maybe even a few weeks, depending on how fast he grows. So I will be putting him in his new home. Now, the thing with Ranger is that he is honestly very calm. I actually had him climb up on me for a while with like my family around and stuff, and he was very calm. He didn't jump that much, so hopefully I'll be able to put him in here with no trouble. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put him in his cage, and not like forcefully. I'm going to give him a chance, to figure out what's going on and stuff, and I'm going to open the lid. I'm going to try to open it in the cage. This is my mom's idea, and I hope this works. I hope it doesn't get hurt. There we go. I'm probably going to cut out the part where he didn't understand that he was supposed to go in his cage. He was just sitting there, and then he crawled on my finger and then just kind of walked around on my finger, and I was just like, okay. And then he just kind of sat there. But look at him. He's going into his new home. So when we get like the bigger cage when he's a little bit older, we are going to add some more stuff, and there's going to be a lot more room. And what we recommend, and what our vet recommended as well, is put paper towels at the bottom of their cage, so like, it's easy really to clean up their poop and pee, and if, things are okay with, like, medical stuff, because, if they're not peeing and pooping, you should really go to the vet, and just kind of see how they're doing in that situation. And for food and water, once they get big, you can go to like your local pet store and buy like a food and water container. But for now, since he's tiny, we're going to put his food and water in some Dixie cups. What we did here, for example, is my mom cut out the bottom of a Dixie cup and put it in here and just filled it up with a little bit of water. But I recommend, though, once they are big, you should really get them an accurate source of water and food and a nice big area for them to roam around in. I will be posting some videos with updates and kind of how he's been doing, but Ranger is an awesome pet, and I'm super excited to kind of see how he acts in his new environment, and he's so sweet. Like, he climbed on my arm, and he like barely jumped, he just kind of chilled on my arm, and he's a little bit clingy to me. Like, when I was trying to put him in the cage, because he didn't understand to get out of the cup, he kind of like stuck to my finger, and then he's trying to get out, like, because geckos actually have suction cups on their fingers, so he was basically stuck to me and he was trying to move. You can also buy a spritzer like this, and what you do is you spray some water in their cage. You should really do it every day, and depending on the gecko, you should do it multiple times a day, really. But we'll be probably doing it a few times a day, maybe once a day. It honestly just depends on if you've been getting enough moisture. So what you do is you spritz it on, the things inside their container, and if they're out and about, try to spray it on the gecko so it helps them with molting and stuff. And if your gecko has problems with shedding, then you should really go and buy some aloe stuff where you can spray it on your gecko and it should help them shed. And make sure to get it on the glass sides of the container too, because what geckos do is they actually lick the water on there. So some of them, when they climb, because geckos really like to climb because they're really sticky, what most of them do is they will go on the sides of the container and then lick the water droplets as well. So you can go and put water at the bottom too, but when you spray it, hopefully if they're a little bit older and they understand, they should go and lick it right off the sides. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Summer after fall, I'll keep